This video is the ultimate guide on how to safely wash a house, wash a roof, wash any concrete. If you want to safely clean all your customers' property, watch this video till the end and let's get into it. So when you first roll up to a job, you've got to first make sure that there's not already damage, not already, stuff wrong with the property. You've got to walk around and make sure no vinyl siding is popped out of place, no windows are open. You've got to rub your fingers on the vinyl siding, make sure it's not oxidized. You've got to check the weather, see how hot it is, and you could probably feel it, but check the weather. If it's too hot, you're going to have to pre-rinse the vinyl siding before you even start throwing up any application of any chemical, which typically I do either way, but if it's really cold, I don't, just because the surface temperature of the vinyl won't be that hot. But just to be safe, I usually rinse down everything before I apply chemical to cool the surface temperature down so it doesn't flash oxidize. So pre-inspection walkthrough, take note of any vegetation, delicate vegetation, any windows open, any oxidation on the vinyl siding, any popped out of socket vinyl siding, and any outlets. If there's any outlets, I usually tape off every outlet with just some, red stucco tape from 3M. 3M has a red stucco tape. It works great. And you just gotta tape up all the sockets, and then I put a little shingle above the outlet so it doesn't get back behind the outlet. If it's installed improperly, it'll get behind there, short it out, complete the circuit, start a fire, you're burn down a house. So do that first. Tape off all the outlets, make sure, pre-inspection walkthrough, and then once you get started washing, I already said you want to pre-rinse down the surface that you're cleaning, and then apply your chemical. And don't go too hot if you don't have to with the mix. If you want to use as little chemical as possible, you want to be in the fine line between not wasting chemical and not wasting time. And then you'll be in the perfect spot. Once you wash a few houses, you'll know where you're at. And you usually want to soak down any vegetation that you might be spraying over beforehand. And then while you wait for your chemical to sit and dwell, you want to be rinsing down the plants. Make sure there's no chemical on it. Then you want to go back, rinse off the chemical that you've applied, and then rinse one more time the vegetation to make sure that there's not any chemical sitting on top. And doing all that in a soft wash system, you don't want to be pressure washing with little chemical and a lot of pressure. That actually can damage the vinyl, pop vinyl out of socket, get water up in the weep holes, and then dirt falls through. You just want to be soft washing. It's pretty controversial for these homeowners that are uneducated, but for educated beings in the industry, soft wash is the way to go any day of the week. That's just the end of it. And for roofs you use such a hot mix that in order to be safe, you really need to water down some vegetation, even bag downspouts. I mean, that's how serious you got to take it. Any overspray that shoots off the side of the shingle lands on any leaves of bushes, it burns the leaves. You want to have someone down on the floor or a sprinkler set up, catching all that bleach before it even hits the leaves of the bush. Roof washing is the easiest way and fastest way to, knock out some bushes while you're there. But you also still want to be in the fine line of not wasting chemical and not wasting too much time. And also, if you use too light of a mix, you're gonna have to go heavy with the volume. And when you go heavy with the volume, you have a lot of runoff. And when you have a lot of runoff, that obviously results in extra overspray, extra bleach coming out of the downspouts, maybe getting into the dirt, killing some bushes. So you want to be in that fine line. I usually stay at 4 to 5%, and if I need to go up from there, I will. And if you have any ladders on leaned up against the house in order to reach the peak of a house, or to clean gutters, you want the ladder to have a bullhorn. You want a bullhorn ladder so that resting on the shingles, not the gutter, because if you put all your weight on the gutter, it'll actually indent the gutter. It won't happen every time, but once it happens, you gotta pay for a new gutter. You're out of luck. So when it leans up on that gutter and you're up at the top, putting all your weight on that ladder, it's pushing in on that gutter, and it could bend it, it could, crack it. It's just better to have a bullhorn ladder and a bullhorn attachment to be resting on the shingles rather than the gutters. And when you're cleaning concrete, last but not least, I like cleaning concrete. It's easy, it's simple, it's satisfying. But when you pre and post treat, people go really, really hot with their pre and post treatments. I don't really see why. I've never had a problem. 3 to 4% is fine. Even, 2% works if you've, cleaned it thoroughly. You can pre and post. You can even pre-treat with a downstreamer downstream injector, and then post-treat again with the downstream injector, and you will leave no lines, I promise, unless your surface cleaner is horrible and you gotta go over it twice. But I typically just downstream my pre and post-treatment. But when these people go with 6%, I believe they're really wasting chemical. And 2, they're risking overspray onto the grass. Grass is not a very strong plant. It'll die with little to no chemical put onto that grass. So when you're putting 6%, even the slightest bit of overspray is gonna kill that border of grass along that driveway, which is not good. Also, when cleaning concrete, you wanna keep in mind that the street gutter along the street, the property line that some people want cleaned as well, that is not owned by the property owner. At least where in North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, where I'm from, I called my local municipality, checked the legality of painting the curb where they live, and they told me that you're actually not allowed to do anything with that curb, not clean it, paint it, do anything like that, because it is owned by the city. Now, will they really get you for it? No, but say if they wanted to, they could. And I just don't want to take that liability with cleaning, just an extra little bit of money to clean that gutter line and curbside on their property line. It's just not worth it to me. And so I just try to stay away from it, because if they say they don't want to, if the city comes by and talks to you about it, there's nothing you can do. You can't fix it. It's clean. You can't just throw dirt on it and call it a day. If they really want to be, a-holes about it, they could. That's why I stay away from it. Also, going back to house washing, when you rinse, and if you use a surfactant, when you wash, vinyl siding, a house, anything like that, you need to make sure you rinse everything thoroughly, because when that surfactant dries on those windows, it'll be cloudy, it'll leave streaks, it'll be the nastiest thing ever. And if it dries on there, you'll have to go back out. You'll have to go back out, re-rinse that, maybe even scrub it off. It's just not a good day when your surfactant dries on a window. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I'm sure I've missed a lot. It's hard to cover everything in one singular video. But if you guys have had any bad experiences with any insurance claims, callbacks, anything like that, property damage, that I didn't list in this video, comment that down in the description, and comment that down in the comment section, and I will be happy to respond, even make a new video about it, about those, examples. And yeah, I think that pretty much does it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna try to post less videos, but when I do post, they're gonna be bangers, quality videos, very informative. And so I hope you guys are really interested for that, to, less quantity, more quality. And yeah, I think that pretty much does it. I will catch y'all in the next one.